Happy Freedom Friday. This is Shannon Ivory of LazyEntrepreneurTV.com coming to you with a very quick training of one of the strategies that I use for the Harmonic scanner. The Harmonic scanner is one of the products that we use as an IML customer, and you do have to be an IML customer to use this product. So if you're not, you can click the information below. I will tell you more about joining Trade Nation and IML at the end of this video, or you could just click the link below. So again, this is the Harmonic scanner. And first, let me say about LazyEntrepreneurTV.com. This does not mean that we're a bunch of lazy entrepreneurs. It simply means that we have chosen to work smart and not hard. And this is one of the strategies that we use to generate an income each and every day. So again, this is the Harmonic scanner. And let me first apologize. I'm using a Wave keyboard. And my clicker is pretty loud, but hopefully it won't drown me out. Excuse me. Again, you do have to be an IML customer to use this product. I'm just going to log in here and show you what this looks like. So when you first log in, this is what your scanner looks like. I'm going to take that indicator off so that you can see it plain and simple. This is what it looks like. Now, these shapes that are on here have a very specific meaning. These are things that you learn in the academy. And this is a shark pattern, which is going to have 2 entry points, and that's going to be important as we get into this. But you have other patterns, the Gartley, the butterfly, the bat, deep alternate bat. And it's just, you learn what they mean. They're not as significant when it comes to training, but it's important to know. Again, there are several confirmations that you could have in getting prepared to trade. And all of that you will learn in the academy. So over here we have the different Forex brokers. It does not matter who your actual broker is or the one that you have your account with. You can use any of these to look into trading. And so if you're familiar with the harmonic pattern, you know these are 15-minute charts. Here's your 1 hour, 4 hour, and day charts. If you wanted to take longer trades. Me personally, I stick with the 15-minute. I'm a scalper. I like to get in, make my money, and get out. So we're going to look at a couple of things here, but first let me show you the indicators that I use as part of working with the Harmonic scanner. This little wave button here is where your indicators are. We're going to add Bollinger Bands. You can see there's several different kinds. We're just going to use the basic Bollinger Band. We're going to add other indicators, relative strength indicator, and your stochastics. And again, you'll learn what all of these mean as you get into the academy. So I'm going to simplify it, so don't worry about trying to understand everything you see. I know when I was first presented with it, I honestly didn't think I was smart enough to do this because this looks too much like geometry, and I did not like geometry. So if you are that person, this is going to be perfect for you. If you are the person that loves geometry, it's going to be even better for you. So let me just explain the basics of these indicators that I chose. Bollinger Band, that's this little clouded area here, and the bands are the outer lines of that. And then you have this little median here, which is like your moving average. Price is typically going to stay close to that line, but what you'll also notice is they're within the barriers of these bands. So they kind of act like rubber bands or support. It hits it and bounces back. It hits it and bounces back. So it's going to pretty much stay within that cloud. I'm going to change the settings a bit because I do like to keep a little bit of the noise on the screen down. Your length is going to stay the same. Only thing I'm going to do is darken these lines up a little bit. If you see these 3 lines here, when I click these buttons, they darken, just so that I can see them a little bit better. And I like to remove the cloud. You don't have to. It's just based on what looks better to you and what helps you in seeing it. So I'm going to remove the cloud. Save that as my default. And so then it's going to look more like this. Let's change the settings here. Tell you a little bit about here. Your input, we're going to change that to 7. And for your style, I'm probably going to add a background on that. We'll keep those there. Don't need to darken it. So let me just put a little bit of a cloud there just to make it easier to see the 2. Okay. Yeah, I'm being a little perfectionist here, trying to get that shade the same as that one. So No worries. And so you don't have to thicken up the lines. The only thing that we're really changing on here is your input. Your length is 7. And we use the 70-30 rule. Let me show you, that's here. So if you're not certain, it's going to be here. So 70-30 is what we're going to place the levels to. When it's above 70, that means it's overbought. The market is overbought. If it's below 30, it's oversold. So if you're in an overbought status, then you start looking for the sell. If you're in an oversold status, you start looking for the buy. Again, no big deal there. Don't worry about it. We are just going to basically say if it's above 70, look for the sell. If it's below 30, look for the buy. And I'll show you more about that too. Stochastics, we're going to change those settings as well. I'm going to darken up. I like to see these lines a little bit darker because we're working with 2. And I need to know exactly what I'm looking at. I prefer the length, length 5, smooth K3, and your smooth D3. Again, it helps to know what they mean, but for this training alone, I'm going to show you why. Before you know, this is absolutely for beginners and for people who are skilled at this. I've been with IML for 3 months. I've been trading now, or started learning to trade within the last month. And from all of the training and all of the strategies, this is the one, putting bits and pieces of what I've learned together, that I really like most. It's very simple, and I'll show you how. So it's important too, it helps to have a mouse with a scroller so you can scroll in and out so you can see better. You know, bunched up here, you would need to know more of chart analysis. You had a double top there. If you see a head and shoulders, these are different terminologies. If you're scrolled in like that, you better be willing to do your support and trend lines and things like that to understand what is going on. But I scroll out just so I can see what's going on here. Bring that in just a little bit more. So I'm going to show you what I went through this morning. We've set the pattern on that. That's been set. There's one more indicator that I'm going to add to confirm everything we're going to see, but give me just a moment. I'm going to add that after I show you this. So this is one that I was looking at this morning. From my experience, and even many of the traders within our team says that the best time to trade is between 7 and 11 a.m. It is currently 11:25, which is why I'm doing this video now, because I am done for the day. But you should have a trading plan in place that says what the percentage that you're going to increase your account by, or how many pips that you're going to get. In pips just means money. Each movement counts for 1 pip. And the amount is determined on lot size. But again, I'm not going to get into all of that. That's Academy information, and you'll learn more about risk management and account. This does not mean that every trade is a win. As a matter of fact, let me make that disclaimer. Trading is very risky. And this is why you do need to know the basics of the market and what you're looking for, because no matter how good the strategy, there are going to be some losses, but you want to keep them as minimal as possible. So again, this is one that I was looking at this morning. So we're going to take a couple of lines and draw them up, and then I'm going to explain to you why. The first thing we check, though, is to see if your price, which is this D right here, if D has touched your entry line, this little green line here, and it says entry. Did that on the D, did it touch this, and did it touch your Bollinger Band? Yes and yes. So those are your first 2 confirmations. If they did not, there's no need to do anything further on this one. You move and look for another trade. But this one was really good. It had both of those confirmations. So then I continued to do my confirmations. And to help me with that, I'll take a vertical line. And let's change that up, thicken it up a little bit so you can see it better. Take a vertical line and place it right on the D here. And you can see that straight up and down. We'll take another vertical line, place it on your RSI, and one more, and we're going to place that on your stochastics. Now, if you remember the 70-30 rule now, so right here, this is showing us that we're below 30. That means that we're oversold, and we're going to look for the buy. Your stochastics is just a secondary confirmation of strength. When these bands cross, when the blue is above, if you're in a sale, everything else is going to follow through. See, that's a blue. But once that blue crosses down, then it crosses over into a sale. See those red candles up here? Confirm that drop. But then, as you can see here, right on that line, which is confirmation, it's right on that line that it's below 30 here. Confirmation is now it's crossing to go up. So this is below 20. So your stochastics is below 20 and your RSI is below 30, crossing to move upward. Those are all three confirmations that this is a good trade to get in. However, I wait personally to make sure this next candle after your price point. Now this is enough here for you to go ahead and get in this trade. But again, it depends on your lot and you need to know your risk management, because this is going to go into a sell first, which means it's going to drop and be in a negative before you come back to the positive. So avoid that and wait for the confirmation of the next candle. The confirmation of the next candle basically determines which direction this price is going to go. The blue candle represents your buy. So here's your red candle, and now you have this candle confirming the direction of the sale, the market. So again, we touch the entry line, so you don't have to get in as soon as you see this blue candle forming, but you can do a buy stop that puts you right here. So you can go ahead and enter this into your MetaTrader 4, and the Meta 4 is what we use as the platform to trade. You can do it from your desktop, but this is even better that you can do this right from your cell phone. I have MT4. I can look at my charts. I can do all of this from my phone. So you can literally do this from anywhere in the world that you have a good internet service. I found out the hard way that bad Wi-Fi can interfere and you could get stuck in a trade, can't close it out, can't do anything. I lost about $847 because I couldn't close the trade out. So that was a very costly lesson learned. So here you want to make sure, I hope I didn't mess up anybody there, but just make sure you have a good connection if you're going to trade from your phone. And I would recommend it, because no matter where you are, if you get an alert or you know that there's a good trade coming up, you don't want to miss out on it because you're not sitting in front of your computer. You can do this at work. We have a gentleman who is now an IML educator, was a janitor, and he was in the janitor's closet trading, learning. And of course, he's no longer a janitor now, but he is trading successfully, so successfully now that he has become an IML educator. So, okay, back to this. That confirmed that we're here, but I'm going to show you. So that's another confirmation, but this is the one indicator I don't see a whole lot of people use, but I like it. And it's called the Williams fractal. And these little arrows here are your fractals. When the arrow is pointing down, or you can say an upside triangle, when it's pointing down, this represents a buy. This gold one up here represents a sell. So let's zoom in a little more and see what the fractals are saying now say that's one confirmation is price entry. Bollinger Band is another confirmation, your RSI, and your stochastics. That's already 4 confirmations. I took the next candle as a 5th confirmation. When you have so many confirmations, there's only one way this can go. And then, of course, this fractal tells us the market is in a buy right now. So all of these things are telling me that this is about to go up. So you actually enter here and look what happens. Everything begins to move up. It confirmed that. And let's just see. So let's say you have a 50 pip trading day plan. You enter at the entry point here, and so you wrote it up. Even if you didn't write it all the way to the top, look, it went all the way up here, which is over 100 pips. But let's just say you only took it to take profit 2. I typically only go to take profit 2. Very seldomly will I go to take profit 3. If I'm sitting in front of the computer, I will just let it ride until I see a reversal. And as you can see, it did not reverse until it started, and it's still not a reversal. But even this candle, let me get that off. Even this candle or this fractal here tells you that it's about to flip. And so the next candle is a sell, which means that all of this that you just had from here to here, you just lost because the market changed. So be willing to read the indicators and don't get greedy. Take profit 2 is typically your best goal. If you want to play it safe, you go to take profit 1. And once you do that, you could always have a secondary set up to have this as your entry point and then take profit too. That way it's a risk-free trade and you didn't lose any of the profit you just made. So that's an option as well. And again, if you are in IML, maybe you understood that. If not, maybe I'll do another video on that another day. But it's not quite twin trading, but it's a risk-free trade. So you enter here, you go to your take profit, have another entry set up as a buy limit, that once you hit this, that it's going to automatically enter you into the trade and you put in your take profit there. So all of this is great. It confirmed that you had a nice one. If you had 100 pip trading plan for the day, you're done on one trade, So that is awesome. And I will show you. So I hope that was simple enough. If there was something you didn't understand, please comment below and I'll see if I can clear that up for you. But again, all you're doing is making your confirmations here. Above 70, overbought. Below 30, oversold. And the same thing here. But this is great, guys. This was an awesome opportunity. And I'll tell you, GC did that, but EU did the same thing. Looks almost identical. And once you start knowing your correlated pairs, really paying attention to the news, you can take advantage of multiple ones. This is a great example also. Those you're in a buy. Now, the one thing about this one, I would not have gotten into this one because on the candle, we're not below 30. Even though your stochastics is, I'm missing some confirmations here. Price did touch price and it did touch the Bollinger Band, but your next candle says buy, but then it switches because now it's in consolidation. So this might have been one that I watched, but I would not have entered until about right here. Why? Because it dropped down, crossed over, and then we had this one candle that indicated a buy was coming. But look at this. Even though you had profit here, put it back into oversold, your stochastics is still low. So I would not have entered this one. And then these two candles means that we're not sure. It's in consolidation, so it's not really going anywhere. And that's what this looks like. Consolidation is just like no really big moves, no ups or downs. It's just kind of bouncing a little bit back and forth. So even though you see that same mark there, getting in the trade would have been a whole lot riskier than we did on GC. So hopefully you get the idea of that again. And then you see how those are. Sometimes I prefer actually to have this on 3 than 2. Because it brings it in a little more. So, and then you notice that that changed there. So you still could have, I would not have, because again, it's no certainty. It was in consolidation before this move and it went back into consolidation. So that was a risky one. And because you didn't have multiple confirmations, I would not have gotten into that trade. Okay, so hopefully that made some sense for you. I do use, this is the Harmonic scanner. Another one I use is the Gold Cup. And what I really like about the Gold Cup is this is a sell limit that was created by, it's through IML, created by Lizaldo Tavares, and sell limit. So basically on this, you're going to see where price is going. Let's see. Let me take that one off. NZD. And you'll get alerts too. Alerts actually pop up to let you know that it's a certain number away from sell limit. So it'll tell you where to enter. Your sell limit, you enter at this. And this is the copy and paste pretty much. Is your sell limit is this, your take profit, and then your stop loss. However, there are certain things that you need to understand about teacups to see if this is a good trade for you. Now, this looks to be one that was triggered. It's even telling you what your entry point is. But the reason I'm not so certain I would not have taken this one is because of the 450 rule. The 4 is your black line, your 50 is your blue line, just to keep from getting into the difference in your moving averages, simple and exponential, is that when the 4 crosses the blue going up, this is no longer a teacup. All teacups are sell limits. So this is no longer a valid teacup. So if you had taken this as a valid teacup and entered in on that, then depending on where you got in, like if you had come in, if you know what you're looking for and you know the difference between the crosses, then you could have made, some money. But basic rule is this is not a good teacup to get in. But I will show you this. This is for sell limit, but I'll do a training on this. But just to quickly touch for anyone who's doing IML Gold Cup, when the 4 crosses the 50 going up, look at this. It's always going to be a buy. It's always going up in profit, but it's crossing the 50 going up. So as you're waiting on the sell limit, you could be benefiting on the profit. Now, this gap isn't big enough. Gaps are important. When you're looking at it, see how big this gap is and the difference in that price. So it's something that you watch, and it's also, look here, determining here, we're now riding high, and you're looking at your RSI and your stochastics a little differently here because this is a sell limit system. So it's not looking for buys, it's only looking for the sell. However, that 4 crosses the 50 going up, it's an opportunity to get into a buy. This is a little more advanced in knowledge that you at least need to know what you're looking for. You could also take this down to like I use my broker to scout, but on a 5-minute. So there's always an opportunity to trade. You just don't get greedy and don't go beyond what your trading plan is for the day, whether it's by increasing your account 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever your choice is, or if it's based on pips. You want to make sure that you're sticking to your plan. Here we go again. The 4 crossing the 50 going up. Profit, 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 profit. To hit the teacup, once it hits the teacup, it's going to start going back down. So, yeah, I think I'll do something on that because there's so many ways to profit from them. And then as you can see, it tells you over here, the pink cup is a pending activation. The gold cup means the teacup has already been triggered. And this is a new product, guys. Right now, it's free. Right now, it's free. But that's because we're still in testing. But once we are no longer in testing, it's going to be an additional fee monthly. But if you pay attention to your strengths when it comes to your limits, your sell limits, it tells you, it's telling you have 3 different entries here. I'm paying attention to this before I start. So as we're still rising, the moment I see that dip, I would have gotten into this trade. And now it's touched the sell limit and has the opportunity to make it down to the profit. Your take profit. So anyway, that's just a quick touch on that. You have your IML Academy. I use TradingView also to do chart analysis. I love the ADXDI on that because it tells you the momentum and who has current control of the market. So I use different methods, but I can now because I understand it. So again, Forex Factory, you do want to use something to see what the news is. Right now it's telling you time frames when everything is on high impact or medium impact or low impact. You want to know about the currency pairs before you go looking for what you're going to trade, because it will tell you a lot about what's going on in the market. And it can be very risky to trade during high impact, news events. So you do have to pay attention to the news and just know what you're looking for. Again, I cannot emphasize enough. This is all that we learned in the Academy. To learn more about the Trade Nation Wealth Building Academy, you can click the link below or go to lifestylebusinessdevelopers.com. Again, this is Lazy Entrepreneur TV. This is what we promote. This is what we discuss. This is what we're really excited about. This is the power of your smartphone, is you can literally trade from your smartphone. And I guess I will change this now because this isn't an official launch, but I did want to start getting information out there to you because this is such a powerful way of generating money on a daily basis. Like for 6 figures, you can make $385 a day or more. I know people who are doing 5 figures a day. I've even, we're going to roll out a launch within the next month. A gentleman that has come up with a plan that he could generate very easily 6 figures a week, trading only. And I've seen it done. So that's not to exaggerate. I'm very excited about it. This is so real, guys. To get more information, again, go to lifestylebusinessdevelopers.com or click the link below. Thank you for spending this time with me. And again, I'll be back with some more trainings. Just know that most of the trainings are going to be based on the products through IML Academy, and you do have to be a customer to use these. This is Shannon Ivory on this Freedom Friday. I certainly hope you've enjoyed this training. Continue to visit LazyEntrepreneurTV.com for more training and learn how to take your life back. Love the life you live while creating the life you love. Have a better than great day, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
No alarm clocks, no traffic jams, kissing this 9 to 5.